What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt Taville with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Andy the Destroyer Ruiz. Andy Ruiz tells Dillian Whyte this in his recent post. He said, Dillian Whyte, stop effing playing the victim. You got knocked the F out. You talked all that bleepity bleep bleep bleep. You disrespected your opponents. And now you want someone to feel sorry for your ASS? Man, get the F out of here. Those are the words of Andy the Destroyer Ruiz. Now, I know what he meant because Dillian Whyte did mention Andy Ruiz and called him a coward for not fighting him, and he's happy that I lost because he's happy he doesn't want to fight me or doesn't have to fight me now because he lost. Okay? Now, what I say to that, like you guys know, I've already said to that, about that, rather, I feel that Ruiz, he was happy. That was his rival. But I think if it was a guy that you actually intended to fight, I don't think you would be that happy. You know, you might smirk, but you damn sure won't laugh, you know. You know what I mean? Unless you're on some type of, you know, like deep-rooted hatred stuff. So I don't know if Dillian Whyte was able to get up under Andy Ruiz's skin to the point that when he lost, he was that happy because he disliked him or was starting to dislike him that much. So maybe that may be the case with Andy and Dillian. So that could be the case. I'm not really sure. But I'll say this. The victim part, I'd never seen or witnessed any shape, form, or fashion that Dillian Whyte is playing the victim. You know, you know what I mean? There's nothing that he said recently, as of yet, that made me feel sorry for him. You know, based on what I hear, he just wants to fight the toughest guys like he's always been. You know, and it's really then gave Dillian Whyte some stripes because Dillian Whyte is at the point where he's getting the respect for fighting the tough dudes because obviously if he can get knocked on his ass by a dude like Povetkin that only lost twice to, you know, some of the best heavyweights around right now or in the past era, you know, that's saying a lot. Whereas Andy, I think Andy doesn't like, Dillian Whyte, but I don't think that he had any intention of fighting him. You know what I mean? So I think it was more of something that Andy Ruiz disliked, and he glorified the win of Povetkin knocking out Dillian Whyte. And I think, like you guys know, if that was the case, he shouldn't have been that happy unless he really hated him. Okay? But all in all, I feel that Andy Ruiz, you know, he's saying that he's playing a victim. I don't see that. And I think Andy needs to start fighting top 5, top 10 opponents to really be considered for people to take him seriously again. You know, I mean, he's made his mark. He's done, he's had his claim to fame, but what are you going to do with the rest of your career? You know? But then again, guys, we're talking about Andy Ruiz and Dillian Whyte. And I think the negotiations fell through for whatever reason. And I think those guys should fight at some point. You know? But Andy Ruiz, I'm not sure if he's a coward, but I know he's ducked a couple good fights. So until he takes on a decent fight, I don't see that because what he's saying don't make sense, first of all. I mean, he didn't play victim. But then I think counter-punching Andy Ruiz also, like you as a fighter, start taking on better opposition. so we can start taking you seriously, and he can get himself off the redemption list. Because where people forget why he was on the redemption list. He was on the redemption list because he started ducking all the good fighters. He's on the redemption list because of Dillian Whyte and Luis Ortiz, not just Dillian Whyte. You know, so that's why he's there. So that I have to make that point known. But as far as playing the victim, I don't think Dillian Whyte was playing the victim. I just think that it's hard. I think Dillian Whyte wanted to fight Andy Ruiz versus Andy Ruiz. I don't think Andy Ruiz wanted to. I don't think he wanted to fight Dillian Whyte like he claimed, because that he would have made that fight happen. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Andy Ruiz stating to Dillian, stop playing the victim. Is Dillian Whyte playing the victim? You guys let me know in the comments below. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.